Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to teaching styles, but some personality types are often highlighted for their unique strengths in the classroom. So, buckle up as we explore the top 4 personality types often celebrated for their teaching prowess. Get ready to laugh, learn, and maybe even have an existential crisis or two. Just kidding, sort of. First up, we have the ENFJs, aka the protagonists. Think of them as the Gandalf of the classroom, inspiring their students to greatness. ENFJs are natural-born leaders, but not in a dictatorial Genghis Khan kind of way. No, these charismatic individuals lead with empathy and heart. They can walk into a room and instantly sense the vibe, knowing who needs a pep talk, who needs a high five, and who needs a swift kick in the... Well, you get the picture. And speaking of pictures, ENFJs are amazing communicators. They don't just lecture, they engage. They paint vivid pictures with their words, weaving stories and anecdotes that make learning fun and relatable. They're like that friend who can explain the plot of Inception in a way that actually makes sense. But their superpower? Their ability to connect with their students on an emotional level. ENFJs genuinely care about their students' well-being, both inside and outside the classroom. They create a safe and supportive learning environment where students feel comfortable taking risks and asking questions. They understand that learning isn't just about memorizing facts, it's about personal growth and development. Think about your favorite teacher, the one who made you believe in yourself, the one who saw your potential even when you doubted it. Yeah, that was probably an ENFJ. They are the ultimate cheerleaders, always pushing their students to be the best versions of themselves. Now I know what you're thinking. John, this all sounds too good to be true. Are ENFJs even human? And to that I say yes, mostly. They have their flaws like everyone else. They can be a bit too idealistic sometimes, a little too trusting, and their need for harmony can sometimes lead to conflict avoidance, which, let's be honest, can be a recipe for disaster in a room full of teenagers. But hey, nobody's perfect, right? Overall, ENFJs are pretty darn close to teaching superheroes. They're passionate, they're engaging, and they genuinely care about their students. What more could you ask for? Next up, we have the INFJs, or as I like to call them, the advocates of the classroom. Now, if ENFJs are the Gandalfs, INFJs are more like the Yodas, wise, insightful, and maybe a little bit mysterious. They're the quiet ones in the back of the faculty meeting, observing, analyzing, and probably writing poetry in their heads. INFJs are deeply compassionate and empathetic, but they're not as outwardly expressive as their ENFJ counterparts. They have this uncanny ability to see right through you, to understand your motivations and desires even before you do. It's a little bit spooky, to be honest, but don't worry. They won't use their Jedi mind tricks for evil. In fact, INFJs are all about using their powers for good. They're drawn to teaching because they genuinely want to make a difference in the world, one student at a time. And they do this by creating a safe and nurturing learning environment where students feel seen and heard. INFJs are amazing listeners, and they have this way of making you feel like you're the only person in the room when they're talking to you. They validate your feelings, they encourage your dreams, and they make you believe that anything is possible. But don't let their gentle nature fool you. INFJs are also incredibly determined and driven. When they set their minds to something, they go after it with laser-like focus. They're not afraid of a challenge, and they'll work tirelessly to help their students succeed. Think of that teacher who always believed in you, even when you didn't believe in yourself. The one who saw your hidden talents and encouraged you to pursue your passions. That, my friends, was probably an INFJ. They're the quiet champions of the education world, the ones who change lives without ever needing the spotlight. But, like all superheroes, INFJs have their kryptonite. They can be a bit too idealistic at times, and their sensitivity can sometimes lead to overwhelm, especially in the often chaotic world of education. It's like they're constantly absorbing the emotions of everyone around them, which can be exhausting. But even with their flaws, INFJs are pretty amazing educators. They're compassionate, insightful, and dedicated to helping their students reach their full potential. And honestly, isn't that what we all want in a teacher? Chapter 3, ENTJ, the Commander. Now let's talk about ENTJs, the commanders of the classroom. If INFJs are Yoda, then ENTJs are more like Master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda, strategic, demanding, and always pushing their students to be their best. They're the ones who run a tight ship, believe in tough love, and probably have a color-coded spreadsheet for their lesson plans. ENTJs are natural-born leaders. They're confident, assertive, and they don't shy away from a challenge. In fact, they thrive on it. They're the ones who volunteer to teach the most difficult subjects, the ones who aren't afraid to tackle complex topics head-on, and they do it all with an infectious enthusiasm that's hard to resist. They're like the Tony Robbins of education, motivating their students to achieve greatness, even if it means pushing them outside of their comfort zones. But don't mistake their tough love for a lack of caring. ENTJs genuinely want their students to succeed, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to help them get there. They set high standards, but they also provide the support and guidance their students need to meet those standards. Think of that teacher who challenged you, who pushed you to think critically and solve problems independently. The one who didn't let you get away with easy answers, the one who demanded your best effort. Yep, that was probably an ENTJ. They're the ones who prepare you for the real world, the ones who teach you that success requires hard work, dedication, and a willingness to embrace challenges. But, like all personality types, ENTJs have their quirks. They can be a bit blunt at times, and their need for control can sometimes come across as bossy or overbearing. They also have a tendency to prioritize logic over emotions, which can make it difficult for them to connect with students who are more feeling-oriented. However, despite their flaws, ENTJs make incredible educators. They're organized, they're driven, and they're passionate about helping their students achieve their full potential. They may not always be the warmest and fuzziest teachers, but they get the job done, and they often leave a lasting impact on their students. Chapter 4. ESFJ, the console. Last but not least, let's talk about ESFJs, the consoles of the classroom. If ENTJs are Master Shifu, ESFJs are more like Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. Warm, nurturing, and always there to offer a comforting word and a cup of tea. They're the ones who know everyone's name, who organize the best school events, and who probably have a drawer full of extra pencils and tissues. ESFJs are the ultimate caregivers of the personality types. They're naturally drawn to helping others, and they find immense satisfaction in creating a harmonious and supportive environment for their students. They're the ones who go above and beyond, who stay after school to help struggling students, who bake cookies for the class bake sale, and who remember everyone's birthday. And they do it all with a genuine warmth and kindness that's contagious. They create a classroom where students feel loved, accepted, and valued, which is so important for fostering a positive learning environment. But don't let their nurturing nature fool you. ESFJs are also incredibly organized and efficient. They run their classrooms like well-oiled machines, with clear expectations, structured routines, and a place for everything and everything in its place. They believe in the power of tradition and routine, and they strive to create a sense of stability and predictability for their students. Think of that teacher who made you feel welcome, who created a sense of community in their classroom, the one who always had a smile on their face, who knew how to make learning fun, and who genuinely cared about your well-being. That, my friends, was probably an ESFJ. They're the heart of the education system, the ones who make school feel like a second home for their students. Of course, ESFJs have their weaknesses like everyone else. They can be a bit too sensitive to criticism, and their need for harmony can sometimes lead to conflict avoidance. They also have a tendency to take on too much responsibility, which can lead to burnout. But even with their flaws, ESFJs make phenomenal educators. They're warm, they're organized, and they're dedicated to creating a positive and supportive learning environment for their students. They're the ones who make us believe in the power of community, kindness, and a good old-fashioned hug. So there you have it. The top 4 personality types often celebrated for their teaching superpowers. We've got the inspiring ENFJs, the insightful INFJs, the strategic ENTJs, and the nurturing ESFJs. But remember, these are just a few examples, and there are countless other personality types out there who make amazing educators. So which personality type do you think makes the best teacher? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to share which type you identify with most. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. See you next time.